I think it's public.
Yes.
Is it there?
So good.
Blurred.
Is it going?
Yeah, it's going on.
Why are you speaking?
Show me.
Waiting.
Waiting? But I have already gone. Like, give it to me now. Give it to me. Why waiting? I have already gone now. Okay. Hello everybody. Welcome to today's session. Let me know if I'm clearly audible. Fine. Okay, so let me know in the chat box if I am clearly audible as well as visible to everybody. Post AO in the chats. Okay, I am audible as well as visible. Today, what are we going to do in? Yes, exactly. Today, what are we going to do in today's session is the final revision, okay, of your class 10 social studies, and we'll be having a lot of fun today because I'll be telling you a lot of tips and tricks also so that you can tackle your social studies exam, okay, because we all are thinking about it, how to master our social studies. That is why I'll be giving you some tips, okay? So let us get started. Number one thing, if you have any doubt, you can let me know in the comment section. But since people will take time to join, let me give you the summaries or basic things, let me tell you. So wait a second. I would recommend you to open your NCERT, okay? If somebody can write down in the chat box, open your NCERT, so that I can just tell you the most important points that you can mark. Okay? So you can let me know. Yes, I am going to give everybody the last moment tips, right? Number one thing, I did one NCRT session of this chapter, Nationalism in India, in which I talked about the beginning part that is related to the idea of Satyagraha and Ravleta. So if you haven't watched that, do watch, okay? In today's session, we'll be talking about the concept of civil disobedience and the differing strands within the non-cooperation movement. Number one point, how non-cooperation movement began in the towns. Towns means basically the cities. So it began with the middle class participation. The middle class people, I taught you in that history marathon also, the middle class started, okay? The students and teachers started leaving the government colleges, okay? As well as the lawyers left their legal practices. The lawyers left government courts. And the next point that we understand is about the council elections. That they were boycotted in all the provinces except Madras. Why? Because there the party, Justice Party, was of the non-Brahmins, right? And non-Brahmins always had some power less as compared to the Brahmins. So Justice Party members thought that if they would go into the council politics, into the council elections, they would get some power which the Brahmins already had, because that was a party of non-Brahmins. Done. So that is something that you need to remember. Then you need to understand what were the things that were happening. Foreign cloth was boycotted, liquor shops were picketed, foreign cloth was burnt, okay, and many other things also took place. And since British cloth was boycotted, the Indian handloom industry that went up, okay, because of which, okay, we know that Indian handlooms and Indian textile mills, they started prospering. Now you need to understand why it slowed down. So I have already told you the reason. I explained you our peasants also and Swaraj in the plantations also. If you have any doubt, do not forget to post in the chat box. Okay. Do let me know in the chat box if you have any kind of doubt. Talking about the civil disobedience movement, which is very, very important. It can be asked in the exam, high probability is there. Right? So what was the civil disobedience movement? In which Indians were asked to break laws formed by the Britishers. Okay, so Indians broke the laws which were made by the Britishers. First of all, we talk about the salt march, okay, and the civil disobedience movement, because Mahatma Gandhi thought that salt was something that could unite the nation, right? Salt had the power of uniting the nation, okay. And reasons are also clear to you, that Mahatma Gandhi wrote a letter to Lord Irwin, right, suggesting something, 11 demands. But Lord Irwin was unwilling to negotiate. It means he did not want to discuss about it. So Mahatma Gandhi, with his 78 followers, they went to Dandi. Okay, and that happened. You have to remember the fact, like volunteers walked for 24 days, about 10 miles a day. So that should be very clear to you. And they reached at Dandi on 6 April. Then this marked the beginning of the civil disobedience movement. Rest is important, like the new cycle of repression. What are you going to write in that, in the new cycle of repression? The three most important points, that after the second roundtable conference, after the Gandhi Irwin pact, okay, because Irwin was really scared actually. He did not want to negotiate, he did not want to talk with Mahatma Gandhi, right? Is that clear? Let me know in the chat box. Okay. What happened? Thank you. Fine. Now talking about how the participants saw the civil disobedience movement, you need to understand. Please ask your doubts also at the same time. Please chat anybody. Yeah, I think people are actually, I kept the session at 4 p.m. and now I'm taking the session at 5 p.m. So it is a bit late. That is why people might not come. But that doesn't matter, right? We shouldn't worry about it. Now, how the participants saw the movement? We need to understand about all types of participants, right, who were there. First, the rich peasants, then the poor peasants, the businessmen, then the industrial working classes, then you have women. These are something that you need to remember. So please mark them in the limits of civil disobedience, where we talk about Dalits and the Muslims. So now the last time, so I'm just telling you the important points you can mark, and in sense of collective belonging chart. Like probability is there that a question will be asked, so we must be very much prepared with this particular concept. Okay, and this ends nationalism in India over here. Okay, nationalism in India is done. You need to understand the basic things, the events in the form of a story. What exactly happened in India? How India became a nation state. Just like we read in Europe, what happened in Europe. The similar thing happened in India also. Okay. Let me know if you have any kind of doubts. Okay. So let's go with geography then. Let's go with geography. Okay. Let's revise geography now. Now I think mind map is the best thing to revise geography, right? So let's revise geography through a mind map, right? I can switch my camera. Okay, I hope you're able to see the mind map. Here we have a mind map of lifelines of our national economy. Okay. So this let's understand this mind map properly. Huh. Fine. Now first thing in this chapter. Alright. Why this chat is not going? Leave it. Okay, first let's understand what it says. Number one thing, the transportation system. What different types of systems are present? Okay, first, why is it blurred? Huh? Is it clear now? Huh. We have airways, waterways, pipelines, railways. Okay, these are the different transportation systems and roadways. Hmm? And then we have the categories. Then there are a lot of subtypes in roadways. The different types of roadways you can see. Done. Then communication. You can take a screenshot of it. The mind map. Okay, so I hope you must have revised through the mind map. The mind map for the purpose was there for the purpose of revision. So now we all have revised through the mind map. If you haven't taken the screenshots, then let me know in the chat box so that I can show you once again. The lifelines of our national economy through the mind map. I told you that transportation system is divided into many subtypes like airways, roadways, waterways, pipelines. Okay. Taken the screenshot. Good. Actually, is it fine now? I think it is fine. Today we don't have much participation, but it's okay. It's all right. Yeah. Okay. Let's get started again. After this, now you need to understand one important thing: the tourism part. How is tourism considered? Let me show you once more the screen. Wait a second. Yes. So just look at this: tourism as a trade. The exchange of goods among people, states, and countries is referred to as trade. The market is the place where such exchanges take place. Trade between two countries is called international trade. I'm sorry for that disturbance. So, what is this to international trade? When we are trading with other countries, when trade is taking place between two countries, is that clear? Let me know in the chat box if it is clear. Talking about the communication, it can be of two types: personal or mass. Personal communication can be like personal letters, emails, and phone calls. Mass communication, like you can see over here, too much zoomed and that is why blurred. Huh. Radio, television, cinema, newspapers, magazines, and internet. Okay. Fine. So this is clear to us. And all types of roadways are also clear to you, right? Like national highways, state highways, district and border, other roads, etc. Now, are we ready for manufacturing industries revision? Ready or not? Okay. Huh. Now, in this, Okay, 2 likes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting. And that literally means a lot. Now, talking about the different types of industries, so on the basis of various things, we have grouped the industries, and any of the industry can be asked. So, you should be very, very clear with all that. Right. Industrial location can be a question, a very important question that is asked. Okay, that you need to always remember. Then we have agro-based industries. Various types are there. Okay, so you can do it. Okay, shall we start with civics? What do you say? Because I think in geography nobody has any doubts. This is what I think. Everything is clear to you in geography, right? Okay, fine. Let's have 5 likes before the session. Can we keep this target? Anything is possible. Okay, now let's leave this and try to focus on civics. Now we will be understanding civics. So in civics we have 2 chapters, as you know: political parties, outcomes of democracy. Outcomes of democracy is a chapter where you have to practice more and more questions, right? Without question practice, you cannot do anything. I'm normal only, right? Okay, now let's come back to the topic. Last SST marathon was liked by almost everybody, but this time we don't have people with us. So you need to support, right? No response. Is everyone sleeping? I cannot see any chats.
What is this?
Shh. Yeah. Now, outcomes of democracy, all those 5 outcomes are there that we've discussed. The accountable, responsive, legitimate government. Then the next thing that we understand is, okay, let me ask for mind maps if somebody wants more mind maps. Right? Mind maps, because mind maps are going to help us revise, right? Actually, this session was majorly for your doubts, but students have not yet joined. I think I have to end the session there. I'm gonna end the session in 10 minutes because I planned it as a 30 minutes session. So 20 minutes have already taken place. Till that time, I'll complete your civics and economics and we'll be done. Then you can be tension free for your social studies exam, right? Political parties, you know what all is there in this chapter. The most important ones: challenges to the political party and the reforms. Right? The challenges that the political parties face. Okay, all those 4 challenges, all the reforms, the suggestions that are given. Suggestions, one point is suggestion and one other efforts. The efforts that have been taken already by the government and one are the suggestions, like the political parties need to be changed in that way. Okay, these things are there. Okay. I think I announced about this session last time also. And on PPT, people used to be there. Okay. Let's move to economics then. We have two chapters, money and credit and globalization, right? Let me show you the mind maps of both. You want, right? First, let's talk about globalization and the Indian economy. So, what is globalization? Anybody? It is the process of rapid integration or interconnection between countries. Okay, and MNCs are playing a big role in globalization process. So multinational companies are playing a very big role in the globalization process because they are connecting the countries through trade, right? Hit on that like button in case you all haven't done that. Okay, hit on that like button right away, everyone. Now we are talking about the production across countries, and let me know if you have any doubt in the chat box. Now until the mid of the 20th, and in what happened that earlier MNCs were not there, okay, in that number. So trade was the main channel connecting the countries, but now MNCs have come, because of which they are easily hashtag political parties. Didn't I talk about it earlier? Wait a second, let's talk about political parties then. Now, political parties, number one thing, why do we need the parties? The necessity. So, whenever questions are asked related to why do we need to prove it by giving a situation in which the parties are absent. Okay, like necessity. What would happen if we would not have the political parties? Anybody? What would happen? First, understanding its functions. What are the functions? They're going to contest elections. Yes, they have lakhs of members and activists that spread all over the country. Law are debated and passed. So they have the right to make the laws for the country. They have this important function, isn't it? They perform this important function. So that can be understood. Necessity is given in your NCRT, so please mark that. Meaning is also very important. What is a political party and the components of political party? They can be asked. Anybody with any kind of doubt, they can let me know in the comment section or in the chat box if you have any doubt, because it's a doubt session basically. And through mind maps, we are just revising everything, right? Acha, two important things, challenges number one, and the reforms. I told you just a while ago that everybody is going to remember the challenges. Okay. If you have any doubt, let me know in the chat box. Okay. Similarly, outcomes of democracy, same type of a chapter where you have to deal with different outcomes, okay, different results of our democracy. Okay. Now, in political parties, if somebody has any doubt, then they can let me know in the chat box. Otherwise, we are moving on. Okay. Manufacturing industries is also clear, I hope, because I have shown you the mind map before also. Right? Then money and credit. That is the only chapter that is left according to me. Rest everything is done. Okay, so money and credit is the last chapter that we have. In this, there are a few topics, okay, that we need to understand. Number one, money as a medium of exchange, in the modern forms of money, formal versus informal credit, okay, different situations in credit, isn't it? Self-help groups for the poor people. So you all need to remember these things. They are going to be asked in the exam. Okay. Do not forget to remember that. Just one like away from our target. 5 likes for today. Let's reach that target. 5 likes. Okay. If no doubt is there, then we can end. We're just about to end. Let's cross the target once. That was a 5 likes. Can we revise the functions of political parties once? Yes, functions of political parties. Number 1 function, parties contest the elections by putting up candidates. What happens in a political party? It is going to contest elections, it is going to hold elections, and we, the basically followers of the political parties, are going to choose. Okay? This is the function number 1. Let's reach 5 likes also, our target. Second thing, in some countries, candidates are selected by members and this is not important. Yes, second point is parties have various policies and programs. So they, before coming into power, what do parties do is they put forward some policies and programs that if we come into power, we are going to do this. Okay, if we form the government, we are going to make this change, we are going to educate all the people, all the students, right? That is going to happen. Now talking about opposition party, the third function. See, the party which wins the elections is called the ruling party, but the party that loses forms the opposition party, and the role of opposition party is very important in a democracy. Why? Because it keeps a close check on the working of the ruling party and criticizes the government for its wrong policies and failures. That you need to understand. Okay? Criticizing the ruling party basically. Yes, and now we are talking only leaders choose candidates in India, while in other countries like USA choose candidates. Yes, Param, exactly. In some countries, candidates are elected by the members and supporters. Very good. But in India, candidates are chosen by the top party leaders. Right. Good. Now they provide What happened with he? What do you want? Any sort of revision? I did not understand. They provide people access to government machinery and the welfare schemes. For example, Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme, right? For educating all the girls of India. This is a welfare scheme, and this is reached to the common people through political party leaders. Okay, they shape public opinion. Another important point. Okay, they are going to form our opinion by their different speeches which they generally make, and they make us, they influence our thoughts definitely. Like your favorite political party would be one or the other one, so you try to form the opinion accordingly, isn't it? Okay. Any other function that is left that I have missed on? I think I've covered all the functions. Okay, I don't think if any other function is left, I have covered all of them. And one more function, very easy, that parties make laws for the country, right? And they run the country basically. Types of party systems are clear to us: one party, two party, multi-party. India is a multi-party. India has a multi-party system. And you need to remember that political system is not something, the party system is not something which a country can choose. It forms from the past by four factors. Four factors are going to influence. Can somebody tell me those four factors that influence? Okay. Uh, Anybody? With the four factors, I'm asking you the four factors that influence the party system of a region. Let me tell you now. History of the politics, how was the politics in the past? Nature of the society, how is your society? The cultural and the regional differences. What like, if we talk about in Sri Lanka, though it was a democracy, but it wasn't acting like a democracy, right? We read in power sharing very well. How many of you agree to that? That in Sri Lanka, though there was democracy, but still, if we go into depth, it wasn't a truly democratic country because of the nature of its society. Open up. Okay. Mama, one second.
पापा का दे दें
Okay, let's continue now. Good. One party system where only one party is there and one party can only form the government. Two party system where two parties can shift and form the government, and the multi party system where many parties can form the government. Okay. So we have done, we have revised everything now. If still there is some sort of doubt or queries, you can ask from any of the chapter. Globalization, money and credit. They are easy chapters, I would say. Nationalism in India was tough, that's why I took the marathon session. Maps. Okay, let me tell you the map topics once more. Sorry for not teaching on PPT. This is the first time I am not able to teach on PPT due to some reasons. Basically, it wasn't working properly, that's why. I know that teaching on PPT is better than in this way. Just a second. Okay. Yeah, the most important list of map items that you have. First, talking about history because it has less map items. So, on the outline political map, you have to identify, locate, and label. Number one, what happened? Indian National Congress sessions, Calcutta, Nagpur, Madras. Remember these three sessions. September 1920, December 1920, and 1927, Madras. And you know where you have to mark on the map, right? I hope you know. Just a second. Calcutta is in the east. Hold it. Okay. Just a second. What happened? Okay, we are back. There was some connectivity problem, Now let me tell you Calcutta. Now if I talk about Calcutta, that is in West Bengal. West Bengal center. In the center of West Bengal. If this is your map, this is your India's map. Here is West Bengal center. That is Kolkata. Then you can write down Calcutta place because at that time Kolkata was called Calcutta. So we need to mention that. Sorry. Yes, continuing. Nagpur is in Maharashtra. You know that? Where? East. Okay, if this is the Maharashtra state, east means this side, right side. So there you have to mark. Madras. Madras is nothing but Chennai, right? Tamil Nadu. Okay, this is Chennai and it is at the top. So this is Madras. This is Nagpur. Done. Let's reach our target 5 likes. I'm not gonna end the session till the time we reach our target. Yaar. No. Important centers of the Indian national movement. Just Champaran, Bihar. You have Champaran, Bihar, right? Then Kheda, Gujarat, Ahmedabad, Gujarat, Amritsar, Punjab, Chauri Chaura, UP, Dandi, Gujarat. These are the centers of Zero. Don't worry now, they will come now. Because there was some connectivity issue. Okay, so this is clear to us. Please mark them. And here are the geography maps. Please take a screenshot of it if it's visible clearly. Don't show this, please. It's live session. Just see somebody is there with us. Rakita, would you like to speak a few words? Huh? No? What happened? End. No, don't end, please. Now, she's a bit shy, you know. Right, that's why she doesn't want to show her face. Manufacturing industries maps can be asked, mineral energy and mineral resources, and from chapter 7, airports and the seaports. So we are done. We have finished with today's session. And I hope it was helpful as well, right? You got to revise everything at once, which helped you a lot. So shall we end the session? If you have any doubt, if you have any doubt, let me know so that we can end today's session. If somebody wants something else also. No doubts. Thank you. All the best, everybody, for your SST exam. I hope you'll do good. And probably this is going to be the last time some of us are going to give our SST exam. Thank you, Param 23. I hope we all do good and we come up with flying colors after the exam with a good mood so that you all can prepare for your Hindi exam afterwards or whatever language subject you have. So I wish everybody all the best. Do good. Let's stay for 30 more seconds, then we are going to end. Okay. Sorry for the disturbance. One more important thing, if you want the Mindmaps PDF, let me know in the comment section, okay? I'll give you the PDF and do solve mock papers. Still time is left for solving the mock papers because mock papers help us in managing our time that most of us lack. So we don't have to do that, right? We need to manage our time properly, and we couldn't achieve our target of 5 likes, but that's okay. We'll achieve after the session. It doesn't matter. Now you all have to study. Bye. I have wasted your 1 minute. Chalo, the session was already over. From where to end? Ending option is not there. End it fast. Wait a second. Wait, do we end by this?
Cross.
Right?
Cross.
One person is still there. Who's there in the session? Okay. Sometimes I feel like we are I think this is only the option, right?
Yes.
Because we're not getting much support. Nobody came in today's session.